Radio DJ Prenup, we have a special edition of the Shallow Waters Podcast.
Shallow Waters Podcast After Dark, featuring a special guest who wants to try to take over Shallow Waters, but she can't take over Shallow Waters.
Trying to take over.
This is her audition for her own podcast.
Wow.
I'm gonna say this again. This is her for her own podcast.
Man's is over here feeling very intimidated. Aren't
We
you?
also have our special guest again, my boy
We brought
Rod
back
Ignit,
Sir Ignit himself.
back
happening?
on for the second round.
round.
What's happening there? Yeah.
Okay, so we have an audition for somebody for their own podcast. Tiff.
He's gonna just keep.
So we finna let Tiff
Keep doing it.
We finna let Tiff go ahead and control this version of the podcast. We're gonna let you have your own tryout. So, Miss Tiff, what would you like to talk about
On Shallow Waters
After Dark?
All things Tiff.
Oh gosh, there are so many things to
Well,
talk
you got.
about.
Let's go ahead and start. Pick a topic. We're gonna chime in.
Let's dive
How
in.
you just gonna tell me to just pick a topic? Just
You here
Just-
on the podcast?
let's talk about this.
How you gonna give me a birth on my birthday to bring a birthday to my birthday gift? Are you here? This is what we here for.
Yeah, see, but when babies are born, they don't, there's somebody to guide them there through it, So
Trial
you
by
can't
fire.
use birth, that wasn't a very good.
We believe in trial by fire. You just gotta
Once
top
you hit
in.
record, you gotta be ready to walk.
Exactly. Look, you can't come in here with no material. What you mean?
Well, I came to your house. You supposed to have the cups and the drinks and the plates and the food and all this.
Do you not see this B-dubs right in front of you with this Jameson right on the side? We already here.
Didn't I bring that food?
But you got food and you got alcohol. You literally was like, ain't I supposed to have food and alcohol? You got both of them. So
Wild. Here we
But I had to
are.
bring my
yeah,
own
exactly. I can't. You gotta have the juice or you don't got the juice.
So to bring this back to a level playing field, we wanted to have we called it the Black Drunk Brigade. What did we say was in another room?
I called it Black Excellence. It was the Black Excellence Brunch. That was the goal.
No.
Oh.
We literally came up with a title about like 5 minutes ago.
The Niggerish podcast? I don't know what you're talking about.
Something like that.
This Black People After Dark, you feel me? Like, we just here to talk. There was no specific name I had in mind.
You weren't talking
When
about
black
bar
people at the
talk.
dock, you probably should call it suspects.
Nah. It's
That's what it sound like.
Call the police.
Yeah, that's what it sound like.
All right, so let's come up with a topic. We need a topic. This is After Dark. So what has been pressing y'all lately?
we need a topic on with a female's perspective.
I mean, the most popular thing going on is that abortion news.
Oh, good.
But I don't know if y'all want to do that though. But
I mean,
I'm
we
just saying.
can. I just want you guys to understand that my stance on this is very, very serious.
We expect it to be your woman.
Which is
I mean,
that-
we After
which is that
Dark. We here for that.
We
Look.
shouldn't be discussing abortions with men because for me, your opportunity to prevent pregnancy or to put your input in pregnancy is at the time when you gift your sperm.
I feel like you should discuss it with men, but
Yeah.
men shouldn't be in charge of it.
No, they shouldn't. No, I don't think I should discuss it with you at all.
You feel like you
No,
discuss with me?
I feel like if I'm pregnant by
I feel like you should.
I feel like if you were to get me pregnant, I don't have to discuss with you at all what I do with that child.
Well, I feel like y'all should educate men.
I mean, it would be nice.
I understand what you're saying. I feel like y'all should educate men because a lot of men are stupid. And
Well,
like I had a nigga DM me the other day saying something stupid. I'm not gonna say his name. They don't realize with abortions getting banned, it's not just about the abortion itself.
Well,
it's certain types of. Like, okay, man, y'all have issues when it comes to certain,
Well,
certain
okay,
women have
let's
issues.
push pause. I don't really want to stop you because I want you to get to what you're saying,
Right.
but I want you to understand the truth of what you're saying is abortions have not been banned. They are no longer federally protected, which
Right.
means that it's no longer
Okay.
At a
a
federal
federally
level, so
protected
states-
right.
So they try to
no
take over.
longer,
So states-
their own
you
podcast.
no
determine
longer have the
themselves.
right to an abortion. Like how I have the right to remain silent. I have the
Right.
right to bear arms.
Actually,
I
you don't
I
even
no
got that
longer-
no more. I'm
I
keeping
no
a buck
longer-
with you.
I no longer have the. No, I
remember
do.
the Miranda
I
You don't got the right to that no more.
No, I do. They just don't have to tell you. They don't have to tell you. You already know. The thing is, it's inherent that you have the right to remain silent, right?
Yeah.
And you know that. Nobody can control your tongue.
They don't have to read that to you anymore.
Yeah, nobody can control your tongue. You know inside of your heart of hearts that you have the right to remain silent. So shut the fuck up.
But
right?
some people...
Like, you don't have to say, well, he didn't tell me I have the right to remain silent. Well, don't you know how to stop talking?
But some people don't know that, though. So
How do you not know?
Because they haven't been taught that. So when it comes to law, the law of the land, some people don't have access or have not been taught that influential, especially in the South, where it's basically oppression. You're oppressed in a sense. You don't have access, or you're not taught what you have lawfully bound to.
So for me, the law is common sense, right?
That's not necessarily true. I'm gonna stop you right there.
No, I said for me. That's why I started it with for me.
Right, okay.
Because for me, the law is common sense, which means that if I'm the only person who can control my tongue, then nobody can tell me when I can speak and when I can't speak. That is inherent because I'm the only one that has to. You come in here all you want and yell at me to talk and scream and say whatever. But if I don't move my tongue, guess what? There is nothing you can do about it, which means I inherently have the right to remain silent. I can shut up and not say anything, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. They can try to kick my ass. They can do whatever they want to do. They still can't force me to talk. And so that's what I'm saying when I say it's common sense. It's inherent that you have the right to remain silent. And that's not something that someone should have to tell you.
But that's it, I'm gonna backtrack you a little bit. That's what you said, that you were taught that. You were taught to keep your mouth shut.
No, I wasn't.
You just said that though.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't taught to keep my mouth shut.
So how do you...
Watch this.
Okay.
This has been an episode of Shower.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Hold on, this is I'm gonna go back to something she said earlier, though, right? Because this is something I had a conversation with somebody with. It is a woman's body, but once a woman takes on the aspect of saying, "I don't have to tell you if I'm pregnant and I'll tell you what I want to do with the baby," if you have that right, then the man should have that right to say, "I don't give a fuck whether it's my baby or not. I don't have to be responsible for it." I
disagree with that, and the reason
I don't see how you can see. I don't see how you can see one and not the other. I'm be honest with you.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't see why.
I can get pregnant without having sex. I cannot get pregnant without sperm. I can't get pregnant without sperm.
Right.
So your choice, your decision, when you had the right to a say-so, was before you gave me your sperm. Once you gave me your sperm, it's no longer your say-so. And as fucked up as that is, it's the truth. It's like if you gave me an avocado seed and I planted it in my backyard, you can't tell me how long I have to plant that seed.
No, I'm not gonna tell you not to have a baby. I'm just gonna tell you I'm not responsible.
Whether or not, but
that's on you now.
And that's,
you just told me it's in your hands.
And that's your right. That's your right. As fucked up as it is, that's your right because the baby comes to me, right? But Mama's baby, right? Daddy's maybe, right?
But from a logical standpoint, though, I'm just talking about from a logical standpoint. You can't say I'm in sole control and then say, well, you need to be in control because this is your baby. Well, you're either in sole control or you're not.
For me, if I make that choice,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not saying don't think that when I say that this is because I like to start with the base level of things, right? Because people make their own choices based on their own moral compass, their own values, and their own set of circumstances, situations, or whatever. So. But at the base of it, right, I'm going to come and talk to you and we're going to decide what's best to do for us.
Right.
But if I don't want to, I don't have to. And if you don't want to be a part of that child's life, you don't have to.
Right.
That is just the cards that we are dealt. Now, how we choose to play those cards as the human race or, you know what I'm saying, community or whatever, that's up to us. Those are the nuances. I agree with that. But at the base of it, that's just what it is. I don't have to tell you, and you don't have to be there.
Mm-hmm. So I think for me, I guess the base of that argument is some people don't know their full rights. And what I mean by that is so, no, not necessarily that. It's what we're taught inherently. So basically, what we're taught is different based on where we're raised and where we're brought up in particular. So now, we in our generation are taught that we as African Americans, our ancestors were literally enslaved and bought over from Africa. So what the government is trying to change now is not say that we were enslaved, but we were borrowed or quote unquote taken. That terminology is different. It's different. It's totally different. So what I'm saying is so like I said, depending on where you were raised, the word taught and inherit are totally different. Because I guess you could say in the South, you're not taught your Miranda rights. That's not something that's common knowledge.
Nigga, we aren't taught, if we're being honest with you. Like, nigga, I'm going to be real with you. I can't agree with what you're saying because I don't know a nigga who was taught his Miranda rights. We just know from watching TV and paying attention to the police.
Well, I know,
nigga,
but
I've never had to talk with my dad about Miranda rights in my life.
I know. I know black people that are taught in the South, like if something pops off, you call 911. I know for other people in other places,
We ain't
like,
taught
hey, you
that
just
in LA.
saying that
be quiet.
We're not taught that in LA.
No.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I understand.
That's why I asked you. Inherently, being taught something and inheriting something is totally different.
But what I'm saying about when I speak about you having the right to remain silent, that's not something you have to be taught. There were times like, okay, for instance, when you were a kid,
Don't you take government in school?
When you
like that that's what I'm saying. That varies place to place. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off.
No, you gotta learn the Constitution in any government class you take.
That government class is different depending where you
at.
The
Fifth Amendment is in every government class, nigga.
But do you know they changing the government classes altogether? Altogether, government classes being taught.
Every government class teaches you the Constitution. Doesn't matter which one you're in.
It teaches you some parts of the Constitution, not the whole Constitution, though.
What government class you ever heard of that didn't teach the whole Constitution?
Do you understand what America's trying to do right now?
People choose to not remember the Constitution.
No.
You had to hear it.
They're trying to teach certain parts of the
Constitution. You
Constitution.
have no choice but to hear it.
The Constitution's being changed as we speak right now. Women don't have right to abortion federally right now.
The Fifth Amendment ain't changed since we've been alive, nigga.
The Second Amendment changed.
That's what I'm telling you. That shit has always existed.
Leave it up to these dudes. They're going to change it right now.
It might, but it hasn't changed. So the point I'm making is any living human being who watches TV and goes to school knows it. It's a fact.
But even before that, right? Like, let's say when you were a child and you were getting in trouble and your parents are yelling at you and talking to you, you get quiet, you freeze up, you stop talking, you lower your voice, you get real quiet. Like, there's this thing that you just know that your voice is your own and that nobody has control over it but you. So I just feel like that's not something somebody has to tell you that you don't have to talk to me. Nobody has to tell you that you don't have, like, if you don't want to talk to somebody, you don't fucking talk to them.
As a kid, you're taught not to talk to strangers.
So how come all of a sudden now we have to be told that you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to? Like, all right, be quiet.
Niggas know that they're pussy.
Not only that, they tell you what you say can and will. People pay attention to that can and they think it means possible. It's a possibility. No, they telling you that whatever you say against you will be used against you. So shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna be real.
Why are we still trying to talk our way out of shit? Real. And we don't trust these people.
Anybody with common sense knows the police use anything against you when they're not supposed to. They're banking on you not getting a lawyer, not fighting it.
Not knowing.
That's why they get away with a lot of shit they do. If you get somebody who knows the law and you fight it, a lot of shit gets thrown out from police.
Most police don't know the law.
A whole lot of shit gets thrown out. I have a homeboy who just had 9 charges and got off scot-free. Because if you have a lawyer who knows...
Damn, nigga, who's this lawyer? Hold on.
No, but I'm saying... No,
put that nigga on retainer.
If you have a lawyer that knows, okay, nigga, was this search legal? Was this legal?
Right.
Did you do this right?
Yeah.
The average person doesn't have money to hire a lawyer to fight their cases.
Also true.
So they plead and take all this shit.
Yep.
Niggas know they can't do that. That's what they bank on. The average person doesn't have money to go. Let's be real. Most people are check to check. You ain't finna go pay $3,000 for a lawyer when you're check to check.
Also true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You like, fuck, I gotta go to
Xquisite. You got something pressing to say.
Public defender, if you can get that.
I just disagree. Know what I know, and the people that I've seen where they're raised, like, inherently you're taught, like, okay, cool, you have to abide by certain rules. I think it's because, in particular, you're from the West Coast.
I am.
Yes, West Coast.
Right about certain rules and being told you have to talk are two different things.
No, but I think
not necessarily
so,
you. Not,
so based
not,
on what you're saying, I understand what you're saying, right? That there's that on the West Coast we have a certain privilege that is not afforded to people in
not even
the Midwest
necessarily
and the
that.
South.
I just think
what I
that
mean? Like,
you're
it's more diverse and more liberal. And is that what you're trying to say?
No, I think that in the South, certain things are not taught to you, and you have to come across them the hard way. Like, it's not like, oh, these things are not, being said to you and being taught. It's just either things are being choose to be ignored, or you learn like, okay, cool, like you have to walk a certain line.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not like, oh, I get it, like, you gotta shut the fuck up, of course. But some people are not taught that.
See,
and
for
they're
me,
not
that's
taught
the only right that I feel that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I feel nobody has to tell you. Those other things, maybe, like you have the right to an attorney, you have the right to you know what I'm saying, attorney, somebody that's going to be there present during questioning. Blah,
but
blah.
not all.
But to tell you do not have to tell me. That
But
I don't
everybody,
have to
but the thing is that all cops don't tell you your rights, and some people don't know their rights.
Yeah.
So some people don't even get told that they have the right to remain silent. So when they get interrogated, they don't have no choice but to talk because they don't know their own rights. Especially where I'm from, like in Deep South, like they're not gonna be like, oh, you got the right to say. They're gonna tell you some shit and they're gonna beat you up or they can hang you, and that's just real. And so they don't have that privilege of knowing their rights because they're not taught them. And inherently, the police officers don't do their job to tell them their own rights. And so having that knowledge and seeing those things happen, like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Being from Louisiana and knowing certain people in Mississippi, like lynching is still a thing.
Oh yeah.
The KKK are cops.
We were just what was the brother's name? Ahmaud Arbery.
I would say so,
Yeah.
but for
that's the
for them, I will wholeheartedly stay here and disagree with y'all and be like, oh, like you taught to shut the fuck up. Some of us are not taught to shut the fuck up.
Well, I didn't say that I was ever taught to shut the fuck up.
I mean, just
that's something that I just know that
I'm never
nobody
gonna
has.
believe
Nobody
somebody doesn't
can
know
force
all of
me
their-
to talk. That's all I'm saying. The other rights that you were talking about, that I completely agree with you. The only one that I mean is like the right to remain silent. That's what I'm talking about.
I think
specifically that one, because
I believe
nobody
people
has
don't
to tell
know
me
all their rights. I do not believe people don't know any of their rights. I will never believe that. That sounds completely
Everybody
ridiculous.
Not to say they know all of them, but I think
anybody
that
living long enough knows they have some rights, nigga.
yes, but I think
Anybody.
that certain people,
It's autistic niggas that know that.
some people that they don't know their rights, and some of them are withheld.
Yeah, but she just talking about the right to remain silent.
Not even the right to
specifically
remain
what I'm
silent.
talking about.
Even
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
right.
Like,
Nah, nigga, no, we have to rewind back.
Not all
I
rights,
feel like,
but
how do you not
Nigga, these
know?
people know
How
that-
do you not know that you don't have to talk to somebody?
They don't talk because they know your silence can be held against you as well. That's what they do.
That's
not
what
say.
they do,
That's the
yes.
fact of the matter is, if they feel
If
like they
you
got
don't help
some
us-
kind of evidence and you don't speak against it, they're gonna hold that against you.
Right.
You have to prevent. I mean, you have to present
think you have to
something.
do that.
That
So
shit
that's
was-
really what it
that
is.
shit
It's
was
not the lack of
hilarious.
I'm
rights.
telling you,
It's you
there's-
knowing that your
You
silence
being
can also be
afraid.
held against you.
Right.
Because you haven't told us
By a rather.
your alibi or what you
And
were
now you gotta
doing,
sit
what you
here for a
weren't
couple
doing.
days.
Yeah.
Wait
And
for
there
the
are-
verdict and see the judge.
That
Yeah.
shit was
and go through the whole
hilarious. He said
process.
even autistic
there
niggas.
are. I'm telling you, there are.
Yeah,
I'm stuck
There-
on that.
Control.
They don't
There
know
are-
all their rights. Niggas know their.
But I'm
know
telling
they
you,
have
there
rights.
are certain people that do not know any of their rights.
That is true.
I'm gonna
That
be
is
very
true.
honest with you. Like I agree they should know their rights, but there are people that don't. That is the fact of the matter. So for y'all to sit here and be like, oh, like everybody know to shut the fuck up and be quiet in that one right, there are some people that don't. And that is the fact of the matter. There's a few people that are never taught their rights. They don't understand them.
You don't have to be
and-
taught. I was never taught either.
Now
I
what?
was never taught either.
You the one talking about government class? What are you talking about? Makes no sense.
No, I was only talking about one amendment.
You talking about the one amendment? You got taught the
I-
one amendment, right?
Nigga.
You got taught the one amendment, right?
You are
That's not where I learned that, though.
But you
passionate
found,
about
but you
this, Punjab.
came.
I use it as
but
an
you,
example.
But you came.
Both
But
these niggas
Rod,
are
You're
Right.
not listening.
But
I
Rod,
used
you-
that as an example
Punjabi,
before that
passionate.
class.
but you came into being taught that one amendment.
No, I did not not come into shit. I came into watching TV and watching comedy.
But you found out. But you found out. But
you have the right to remain silent. You have. This is being black taught me. Nigga.
One way, but one way
taught me.
But one way or another, you came into it and
that's
found
exactly
out.
what the fuck I'm telling you.
Some people know, but some people
don't. One way or another,
don't.
you're going to find out.
Some people don't.
Only 8-year-olds don't know their rights, nigga.
Some people don't.
Anybody with a license knows their rights.
Some people
then when
don't.
you read the book,
My 8-year-old know to call
and
me.
you go through certain shit, you learn certain rights that way.
Right. Some people
my mama on
don't,
the
bro.
phone.
Right or wrong?
They don't. Some people don't. Inherently don't. Some
Prenup.
people don't. I'm being for real.
Prenup, you
People that
quiet.
live. Look, I'm gonna be very for real with you.
This conversation.
Nah, forget that. You don't get to just enjoy.
Some
You
people
gotta
that
tap
live
in.
in certain places don't have the privilege to understand what we do. Rural Alabama, rural Mississippi. I'm telling you, they don't. I've been there.
Alabama, and none of the niggas not knowing their rights.
Where they from?
Birmingham.
Exactly, they from Birmingham. They not from.
They know their rights.
But they're not from
All of them.
They're not from sundown towns. Birmingham to me is not a sundown town. Enough
Back
black
then
people
it
live
probably
there.
was. Them niggas are old.
But enough black people live there to know and to talk amongst themselves. If you have
Don't you think black people would know their rights more than anybody been there with the ones that get fucked with the most?
no, not some people. They're not privileged to.
You ain't seen First 48, the niggas did
if
not
you
know how
put
to
black
shut the
people
fuck
in a
up.
certain place by themselves, they're not gonna have access to things that
They
other
do
people
not
do.
know how to shut
It
the
does
fuck
not
up.
work like that.
Like TV?
Huh?
They don't have access to TV and internet.
No, they don't.
He talking about like Shannon Sharp country.
Like they live
And white
in.
people don't have access to the same shit.
Yes, but they're taught better. Black people are not.
I'm not agreeing with that.
I don't.
I'm not agreeing with that at all. I'm not agreeing with that race comes
But
into
there
play.
are,
Yeah.
there are.
I agree.
White people
I
have
can
more
agree,
rights
But
because
they
I
also
just
feel
probably
like-
they also probably get dealt with a lot less. is
I
what it
am
is.
gonna stand on the
Especially
fact
That's why we will know
nobody
more.
has to
Especially
tell
That's why
you
we will know more.
that you don't have to
hilarious.
talk. I'm gonna
That was
stand
what
on
you
that
was saying?
fact. I'm gonna stand on the fact that nobody has to tell you that you don't have to talk. Like
We know that.
yeah, that's
I'm gonna just
Nigga,
if
disagree.
you don't
I'm
want to
raising
use your
kids.
tongue, don't use
They
your
know
tongue.
when the fuck to not talk to you.
they
They know.
know.
They learn it very fucking early.
Exactly.
I don't know what the fuck
They
y'all
be standing there
talking
looking
about.
at you like you crazy.
They don't tell their teachers shit. They don't tell you certain shit. They learn it very
They
fucking
know.
early.
Yes, they
I've
do.
never met an adult that didn't learn
But
it.
all of a sudden we get grown, right? And we talk to the police.
You talk
we think
because
we
you're
can talk
scared.
we can get ourselves
It's not
out
about
of
not
trouble.
knowing your rights.
As kids,
They're pussy.
you shut up and keep yourself out
I
of
don't
trouble.
want to
As
go to
adults, you
jail.
talk too much
I
and
don't
get
want to go
yourself
to
in
jail for
trouble.
20 years. I'm telling you everything you want to fucking know.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with not knowing your fucking rights.
They
Niggas are
can send you to
scared.
jail.
They're scared of white people in prison. It's not about not knowing your rights. It's about fear. They put
it.
fear in niggas.
That's it.
That's a
Because
very
you're in a
valid
place
point.
you can get
That's
locked up
I
for
think
50 years.
that's
Nobody's got to
a
explain shit to you.
That's
That's true.
What you gonna
Yeah,
do?
you know?
But here's
it's private. Private
here's my
corporation.
here's my counter argument. Fear has driven black people to do some shit as well too. So if you're scared and you've been in the same mindset for so long, especially let's say somebody who's lived in whatever Mississippi, Alabama, and fear has driven you to this point, you're only gonna live in fear because you don't know any better. So fear is gonna be your driving factor. You're not gonna want to do something because that's what you've been taught.
Because they don't know
Fe-
any better. They
fear-
live in the fear because they do know better because they've seen the shit happen in front of their fucking face.
Fear.
Maybe
I
they
mean,
haven't.
We don't live in fear because we don't see the same shit. I've never seen a nigga hung out here. I've never seen a nigga drugged from a truck out here. But some of my family has. I've never seen that. So we don't have the same kind of fear they got. They got more, they're more educated on it than us. So that's why I don't get you saying that. It makes no sense to me. They're from the origin of that shit.
So when I
We're
said we
not.
have a bit of
Like
privilege,
nigga,
have a little bit of
racism is a little bit
privilege.
hidden where we're at.
Because it's more
where they
liberal.
are, it's all the way
Yeah,
out.
we
So
live in
I'm
more
a-
you know what I'm saying?
liberal
I'm gonna be very
spaces.
honest with you. I've seen a body being hung before.
You're from
And that is more reason to talk because you don't want to be the next person
No, I
that's being
understand
hung.
that, but you're from the South. That's the point I'm making.
Oh, I'm saying-
is y'all should be more educated on it.
But
than
a
anybody.
lot of people aren't though because the education is not there. That's what I'm telling you in particular. Education as we know it is the deciding. This is the biggest underlying factor is education and what you're being taught. That's what I said.
I'm not talking about
Inherently-
in schools.
Well, I
just
mean,
in
But that's
general.
education. That's
no, that is education.
He's more.
I
He's
know, but I'm
more.
not
He's
talking
more
about
saying.
school
But you're saying,
like, life experience.
even
is
even
what it
being
is.
educated outside of school.
even in outside of school, inherently being taught. This is what
You don't
people
learn.
know, and they know better. But it's, think about it: if you see a black person being hung right in front of you, aren't you going to tell the authorities, like, I don't got nothing to do with this? I have nothing to do with this. You're more inclined to talk than you are to shut the fuck up because you don't want to be next, especially if you know that those people, the people that are supposed to be protecting you and the people that they have something out for you, you know that they're part of the people doing this shit.
True, my nigga. That sounds stupid as fuck.
I'm going to keep it a bogus.
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because even niggas, white people, if you see a nigga kill a nigga in front of you, you don't go to the police and tell him because you think he's going to fucking kill you too. What are you talking about? That's the whole thing behind niggas not snitching.
But that's the whole part.
What are you talking about?
The whole part
that
of it.
Stupid to me.
Some people are part of that mentality of.
It's not a
that
mentality.
Cycle. Yes, it is.
Different personalities and it's different type of niggas. If you tell on me, I'm coming to kill you.
Not necessarily.
I'm not just letting it slide. Oh, you told on me, nigga. How dare you?
No.
I'm knocking your ass off so you can't tell too.
You say something to laugh out.
Damn. Put his hands on
I can't believe you would do that. Nigga.
No, but there are people that are in part of that mentality.
They're afraid.
Yes, they are. That's the whole part.
That's
it's
not
fear.
a lack of education. That's fear. I just said that.
That's a combination of both. But that's a combination of both.
No, it's not a combination of both.
Yes, it off.
Niggas are not. Look here. If the same people that you report a crime to are the same people you're afraid of, what the fuck are you telling me, nigga?
I'm telling you, I don't want got nothing to do with it.
You're proving your own point wrong.
But I'm telling you.
You just said the police are the KKK out there, right?
Exactly.
So what the fuck am I reporting to?
Them, because you don't want to be next.
Nigga, listen to what the fuck you're saying.
Look,
They're gonna make me next.
Hey,
They're gonna make me next too.
Uncle Tom, bro. If you're reporting to them, you don't have to be next.
That means you should be
Oh my gosh. So now
That doesn't make sense what you're saying, Mike.
So
If
now
you
we're-
didn't prove your own point
We
wrong.
promoting Uncle Thomas and Uncle
Because
Thomas.
in order, because
Uncle
you have to,
Thomasms.
so
You don't understand what you just said, my man.
hear me out.
He said,
In order-
"Be Uncle
no,
Tom,
no,
so
no.
you don't be next." That's
Because
what he
for them,
said.
These are
For
reports
them-
to type people who he just called KKK.
Because
That's
for
what he just
them,
said.
because for them, it's survival. It's not. Like I said, we are privileged. We are educated.
No,
we
we're
have
not
education
privileged.
to talk to. Yes, we are. We are privileged to a degree, because people where I come from don't have the same circumstances where we're brought up, and they don't have the same outside understanding that we do. They don't understand what could be when you put other people in different places. For them, they know survival. It's not, oh, I can do this, I can do that. They don't have access to that, and they aren't experienced to that.
It's
so then
2022. What access do these niggas not have?
they don't have a lot. They don't have a lot.
Like what?
Internet, running
They
water.
don't have internet 2022. That's because they're
Who
poor.
are we
So
talking
let's-
about right
That's
now?
because they're poor then.
I'm trying
It had
to
nothing to
understand
do with where they live.
The
That's 'cause they're
demographic
poor,
of
nigga.
people that we talking about.
Everybody's
right
got
now.
fucking internet. You can get internet from your phone company.
Can we? Because we keep going. Because you're going from people in rural.
You talking about poor
spaces
people. That has
So-
nothing
with
to do
no
with
TV,
where you are.
no running water.
Everybody in America's got Wi-Fi, nigga. Everybody in America.
What?
But everybody
You
don't.
get Wi-Fi from T-Mobile.
But everybody don't. Y'all keep
Because they don't
talking-
have
Yeah,
money.
the
That
thing-
has nothing to do with education. It's because they're poor. It's nothing to do with education. That's a
don't-
different conversation, my nigga.
I
But-
just feel like we went.
That's a
we
different-
went
Isn't
way
that- but
too
isn't
far.
that-
Who are we talking about?
He hasn't talking
let's-
about poor people. It's the only thing he'd be talking
You
about.
talking about people that still? You talking about black people that are still living on plantations today? Like
I don't
They
know a
live
nigga in the
more
South
rough.
that don't got
What are we
Wi-Fi.
talking about
Bro,
right
there's
now?
a lot of people.
I don't know a nigga.
Okay, well-
so I'm telling you, you have to be talking about poor people. Because everybody has the same
They're
shit
not
these
necessarily poor. That's just what they've been
He's talking about
taught.
people that's living off the grid. He talking about people that's
Nigga,
still living
who?
on
You can
homes.
say- you can
He's
say-
talking about people that's still living on in homesteads. Like they don't
I
have
talk to
running
my- I
water.
talk to my
They
Mississippi
probably
family
got
on Facebook
goats
every day.
running
They got
around their
internet.
property.
They have internet.
That's what he's talking about. People with
I don't know a nigga in the South who don't have internet.
wind turbines.
Said
Nigga, they got internet in prison.
turbines.
He's talking about.
Bro,
Nigga, they messing
y'all,
He just said people with no. Look,
So,
y'all
I
did not
have
hear
a
him
question.
say people with
So,
no running
I-
water.
You think you're talking like we're in 56
You
or
stuck on the
something.
Wi-Fi, but
So-
he's talking about people with no running water.
He's talking about poor people.
We
That's
are
the
so
only thing
we
he's
are
talking
not talking about the same groups of people
about.
here.
He's talking about the old days.
so
Not in 2022. You ain't talking about 2022.
So I have a question for y'all. How long do y'all think civil rights was ago from today?
Oh, it wasn't that long. We know it wasn't that long. Like
So then how far ago
50,
do you
60
think
years?
slavery was from that point?
Well, that wasn't that long ago either. But I'm trying to understand who are we having this
That's a different
conversation about right now? Because the people that you are talking about right now is not the same people that
You
I'm
said
talking
people don't
about.
have
So you
access.
talking
I
about
want us to be able to
So
be
I
on
need
the
you
same
let's
page
let's
with
catch
this.
up.
You're
All right, so
telling us
let's
people
let's
don't
catch
have
up. Let's catch
access.
up. Let's catch up. Let's catch up. Let's catch up. Let's catch up. So let's understand that where we are here in Nevada is not as far as where people in Mississippi, Alabama.
Nevada's actually
Tennessee.
behind a lot of people. I don't
Okay.
know what the fuck you're talking about.
And as far
I'm
as
from Nevada.
as
I'm
far
from here.
but as
We're actually behind a lot of shit.
but as
I don't
far
know
as
what you're talking about.
you talk about as far as these couple
We
states.
were waiting on
Nigga,
Nevada
yes.
for election.
What are you
right?
talking about? We're
waiting
last
on
in
Nevada.
education.
We were waiting on
Last.
Nevada forever.
What is he talking about?
We're okay, so we're
Do you not realize niggas in the South got iPads in school?
Don't
Nigga,
wor-
what are you talking about?
no, not that I know of.
Yes, the fuck they do.
No, they do.
They do.
Not to
They
me.
do.
No,
Nigga,
not to
my
me.
family
They
is
do.
from Birmingham, Mississippi.
But he
and
is
they're
when
in
he's
Louisiana
talking
and
about
Georgia.
from the
They
South.
definitely have
When
all
he's
that shit
talking
you
about
just
from the
named.
South, he is talking about
Old days. He's
rural,
talking about old days.
Rural. I'm talking about
Alabama,
rural Alabama.
where there is no running water. There are
Okay, so let me
there
tell
are
you.
outhouses.
I got cousins in
there. Are wind turbines.
Have you ever heard of Picayune, Mississippi?
There
Yes.
are fences with
what kind of town
iron
is Picayune,
posts
Mississippi?
and barbed wire
I
and
got
chicken
Picayune.
wire. This is what he's talking
The New Orleans
about.
witch call is called
Picayune is a
Picayune.
very
He's
small
not talking
place.
about people in.
He's talking
in
about poor people.
communities.
That's what he's talking poor people.
He's talking about.
That's the only thing that he could be because
He's
nigga,
talking about
I'm trying to tell you,
granny
Vegas
and
is-
Okay, so wait, time out. Here's a
went
question
on
for
an
me.
excursion and they
time
found
out.
this
So wait,
opening
why
and
are
they decided to set up
So wait,
camp here.
Girl,
That's
your
what
first
he's
episode
talking about.
good, girl.
so wait, why
It's juicy.
why are these people outliers?
Who?
These people that you talking about, these
The people
poor
that
black
you
people.
talking about.
But the people y'all talking about too that y'all want to exclude. You talking about
haven't
Okay,
all these
I'ma
people.
tell you the
Okay, so
difference.
wait, so wait, time out.
They're just poor, Mike.
Oh,
It has
so-
nothing to do with where they live.
So they're poor, but why are we
They're
still
poor.
excluding?
But by
them?
whose standard?
We're not excluding.
Y'all
This
standard.
depends-
I'm
this
telling you,
depends on what
Y'all
you-
standard.
this
No,
depends on what you consider
no,
poor.
nigga.
I
By
never
your
said-
own standard.
No,
yes. By your
I haven't
Sir,
said-
listen to me, brother.
I'm asking who are we
Listen.
talking about?
My
That's
case
what I'm
has been
asking.
very
I
cut and
haven't-
dry.
I haven't pointed out any
Anybody
people.
who has my case has been very cut and dry. Anybody with access is knowledgeable. You telling me niggas in the South don't have internet and books and shit? What the fuck you talking about, nigga?
They don't have access. Some of them. So let's say some of the. Okay, so not for everybody.
The people-
not for everybody.
they brought
Not for
people
everybody.
every-
Not for
they
everybody.
brought
Not for
people
everybody.
every-
While these
Stop
two
saying the South there, 'cause
guys
there's people like that
argue,
everywhere.
I would like
Okay,
to throw
those
in
people
that libraries
everywhere.
are
Those people
free.
everywhere. Okay, so those people
Internet
everywhere.
at the
That had nothing to do with
libraries
the
are
South.
free.
So
You can get
those people
library
everywhere.
cards for free.
Those people everywhere that
So
don't
these
have
people
some
that
ways
don't
the
have
South is more
access
advanced than
actually
us.
do
but
have
those
access.
people
So
everywhere that don't have access.
I just want to point that
Okay,
out while they
okay.
argue. Okay.
That's what I was trying to tell you. The point you were making does not have shit to do with the South. This is 2022. This is not 1950.
But a majority of those
Them
people,
niggas got the same shit we got, and some of their shit is better than what we got.
some of those
So I'm
people
telling
in
you,
the. Oh, okay, so let me take that back. Let me rephrase.
it's some great schools in the South. Great ones. Nigga, it's a lot of good
What are you
colleges in the
talking
South.
about?
But okay, so let me
What are you
rephrase.
talking
What are you
about?
talking about?
It's some great colleges in the
Tuskegee?
South.
Xavier?
Okay, I did Xavier.
TSU?
Shit is ass. I've been there.
No, it
sorry.
ain't ass.
Shit is ass.
Related.
TSU. Okay, so let me rephrase that. A lot of the people that don't have access in the South, the people that I've been experienced to, places that I've been, that don't have access to these
Amenities.
amenities,
Is it by choice?
education. No, it's not by choice. They just
It has to be
don't.
because
They
they're
haven't
poor.
been given to them. Not necessarily because they're poor, but because these places have been repressed by Republican ideologies. They have physically been
What
repressed.
places are these?
Let's say rural Alabama. So
Repressed in what
Is that
way,
like
though?
is that the name of the
What do
city?
they not have?
Rural? Is rural
they
the
don't
name of the city?
they don't have a lot of things. It's more like country. It's no city. It's no city. It's more like sharecropper. Like they've inherited.
Oh, so their address is like
sharecroppers.
North 105.
Yeah, they live off like air, like interstates. Like they're living to survive. They're not living with the amenities that we have. They haven't been taught better because this is all they know and this has been passed down. Their schools don't have education. They are living.
So what are they being taught in their schools?
Not the right thing.
But
They're
like
being taught,
what?
They're being taught Republican ideology. So they inherit things that
Like
we
what?
don't have. Like Christianic white supremacy. That's what
Like-
they're being taught. The Christianic white supremacy. There's no basically like let's say white people are superior. Like black people were borrowed and this is the role that they inherit.
White,
They're
so
not
these are
any
white
better.
people that live there. They're black people that live there?
They're black people that live there, but they're inherited
In these
by white
areas.
towns. Yes. They're called them sundown towns. That's what they're known as.
And
Like-
they live how
Yes, they live because that's all they know. They don't know any better. You ever tell somebody like, "Hey, go to a different city and live a new town"? Like that's hard for a lot of people.
The definition of a sundown town, the town that niggas know not to pass
Sundown
through.
towns are also-
Well, no, that's not true.
He
It
said
doesn't
that
mean
there's black
not
people
to
that
pass
live
through.
in
It just
these
means
towns.
you can't be outside after the sun is down. That doesn't mean necessarily like you just can't be outside. You can still live there, but when the sun goes down, you can't come out. Like it doesn't necessarily
So-
mean like you can't pass through. Like you can pass through, just don't get out your
I'm gonna
car.
let y'all finish this off.
But those people, they don't have access to certain things or certain amenities that we have in a metropolis, Las Vegas or big city, LA, like California. To us, California, Nevada, Oregon, Seattle, bigger cities, bigger states with bigger cities, we have amenities that we can come together as. Whereas
you underestimate.
I'm just really curious.
Places. I don't think you've traveled enough small places. I'm gonna be real with you.
I'm trying to figure out.
Because I've been in some small places and they got the same shit. They have the same shit.
They don't have TVs and stuff over there?
They have the same shit.
No books?
They don't have as much of a nightlife or some shit like that, but they got the
You
same
know how I
shit.
feel right now? Remember on Forrest Gump? He was like, in Vietnam, they hardly got no running water.
So
and the dude was like, no running water?
So
Alexander,
go ahead.
Alexander, Louisiana, Laplace, Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana, Oxford, Mississippi, not Tuskegee, but Auburn, Alabama, and there's another city in Alabama I've been to that I can physically tell you that the people I've met don't know about the outside world. They don't. They're not necessarily experienced to it, but coming across them, what they know is all they know, and they don't know any better inherently because of what they've been taught. Not necessarily through schools or through the people that they've met, but this is inherently what they know is just where they are.
That's a lot of people in America. That's a lot of people in the world. I'm gonna keep real with you. That's the point I was trying to make to you earlier. Was not trying to argue with you, but that's the point I was trying to make to you is, nigga, depending on where you're from and how you get out, nigga, the kind of life you live. There's a lot of people where they're from. I know people from Detroit and from Cleveland who have never left their town. They have no idea. Now, if I know some niggas sold dope and got money, but still have never had the desire to leave where they are. So it's not that they don't really want to. Well, yeah, they don't. It ain't that they don't have the opportunity to learn different things and see different things. What they know is what they know, and they're fine with that. There are a lot of people like that. It's the same when you see the news with old people who, well, a hurricane's coming and you don't want to leave your home. This is where I'm at, and this is where I'm going to die. This is where I'm going to... That's how they feel.
That's their mentality.
They don't give a fuck about nothing else. It's not that they don't have opportunity. It's, nigga, this is what I know. This is where I lay my head at, nigga. This is where my heart at. Fuck what y'all talk about.
And some people choose that life.
I'm like,
right.
This is me, nigga, to the core. Some people are just like that. It ain't really that they don't have the means.
There's a lot of homeless people that.
Some people don't like what they don't know. It's a lot of people. Some people go to a restaurant, you get the same meal every fucking time. You live the same life by routine. Tuesdays I go to this bar. Wednesdays I go to this restaurant. Some people just rather not veer off into anything else other than what they know. That's really what it is. Now, if you're dead broke.
And some people also don't want the drama and the stress.
Change your life. This is a different story. But
so I think that's more of where I'm coming from. Yeah, they're poor, and what they know is not. It's not. It's that not that they're given the opportunity to, but for them, it's to survive. I'm not talking about. I think maybe that's where the disconnect is in our argument. It's not the people that have the ability to go out and do better and are given the opportunities to do better. Okay. For me, the main people who I'm talking about is the people that are in survival mode. Like, that's all they know. And they aren't inherently taught the things that we are. I think maybe that's the biggest like disconnect in our argument, whereas you guys were like, okay, cool, like, black people, we can go out. I think for me is like, I've seen these people and it's like they're trying to survive,
right? And
that is their biggest inherent thing. It's not to go out and do XYZ. It's like, I need to make it to another day.
Right. But I'm gonna be with you. I don't feel like black people were really taught anything special. I feel like we just were taught I think we just were taught that, look, nigga, the world is going to be against you. And, nigga, you watch yourself at all times. It ain't never been about the rights of this, and that. I've never had that conversation with anybody in my family. It's more so about, hey, look here, you as a black person, especially a man or a boy, they're not going to like you. Now, you show people respect and you move how you move, but just remember, at the end of the day, you're not going to know fair. That's what it is. Right. So I'm going to keep real with you. That's why I was just agreeing with you, because it's not about right. every black person raised by black parents has had that talk. Like, hey, nigga, you better be careful when you at that job. You know what I mean? Even working regular jobs. Even at my job, I see it. We don't get treated the same. They have no choice but to pay us the same. But, nigga, we don't get treated the same. It don't matter what age you is, nigga. You gonna learn it.
So I think my counter argument is not against you.
Right.
But it's not that
Right.
I think black people are taught that the world's against you. I think it's that they're taught that they have to be extra better.
Both. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, so I don't think
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
But I think maybe that's where the confusion was. It's not that.
No, I don't think that's confusing.
We weren't
I
confused about
completely
that at
agree
all.
with what you're
But I
saying.
think
Yeah,
I think
no, I
that
wasn't
I think we're taught
confused at
both,
all.
though.
Yeah,
I'm not confused at all about what you were saying. I just disagree.
Yeah.
No, I think
I was agreeing with
I'm not
I was
confused
disagreeing
at
with that.
all.
But I agree with
completely
this
agree
part.
with
But I know
what
I'm
That's
saying
what I was
for
disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
for that to backtrack. I think that those people, like I said, in those sundown towns, they're not taught that the world's necessarily against them. I think you inherently learn that, but I think that they're taught like you need to speak to the white people a certain type of way, and you need to be extra good because this could be used against you. So I think it's not that like you're black and it's against you. I think it's like you need to perform better and do better, and you need to live up to the
Well, I'm
white
gonna be
people's
real.
expectations.
I think when you tell some people that, I think that's what you're basically telling them, though. I'm gonna keep real with you. Like, if you,
Well, it is, but I mean, just
if you tell somebody that you have to watch yourself around these people that run the world, then you are basically telling that the country is against you. So it ain't about the world. It's just more so like you are pretty much saying you ain't looked at the same.
Yeah, and we're not.
You are saying that. You just didn't use those exact words. You told them, hey, look, these people don't really like us. And this and that, blah, blah. You got to be on your best behavior. You got to yes, sir, when you get pulled over. We've been taught that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
we've
keep-
definitely been taught that.
I ain't even-
We've all been taught that. So that's what I'm... So that's what I was trying to make to you, Mike. When I was saying, it wasn't about education. It wasn't about the government class. I would just give an example when I use the government class. Like, you are going to learn.
one way or another. Yeah.
As a nigga living in this country,
Nigga living.
you got no motherfucking choice but to learn, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I had some whitewashed friends who thought they were safe because they hung with white people.
Nope.
And they had to learn.
real quick.
And they had to learn. Like, you know what I'm saying?
shit.
So I know damn well
Yeah.
anybody else got to learn. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, we can go ahead. We done already read this. We can go to the next thing. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Get her podcast.
Yeah, look, it's her podcast. We just
Yeah,
talk shit.
Tiff, what you?
Oh, is it? 'Cause you
All
just
things
took
Tiff.
over.
Yeah, your
That
podcast.
was a
Tiff.
good conversation, though.
No, it was
It was
though.
a great
I
conversation.
just, yeah.
All things Tiff.
All things Tiff. There you go.
What y'all want to know about Tiffany? I guess.
You.
What y'all
It's
wanna
your
know about?
podcast,
You.
bro. We just talking.
If you're gonna have something, you gotta let people know about you. What is your mindset like?
Where you from?
I'm from Los Angeles. I'm from LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, born and raised all over.
What brought you to Vegas?
I came to Vegas when Southern California was on fire.
2016?
Sun.
16?
2020.
20. Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that motherfucker on fire every year, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but it was really bad in that time, and I came out
Back
here
to
just
back to back.
yeah. It was really bad. I was living in San Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not San Pedro, El Segundo by the
Okay.
beach, and the fires weren't even there, but like you come outside and the
It's
cars
just
were
haze,
covered in
smoke.
soot and the smoke, and you know LA's already really bad with smog and
Yep.
all that stuff. So I came out here just to get some fresh air, to see the sun again, because I hadn't seen the sun in like 2 weeks because there was
Right.
so much smoke in the sky. And then I just decided to stay. Came and
What made you want to do a podcast?
I don't know. I don't know. What makes me want to having something to
You have
say?
You had something to
Having
say,
something
like
It could be the
say-
simplest reason. It could be
Yeah,
the
wanting to
simplest-
just
You got a nigga Rob.
give my
He didn't want to be on the podcast in general. It's weekly.
I
That shit
definitely
weekly.
did. I'll be honest with you.
just wanting to give my perspective on things.
Okay.
And you know, this is just like a different way to leave your mark in the
Are
world
you a very-
these days.
Are you a very opinionated person?
I
We
think
got
everybody that knows me
the
would say
peanut
that
gallery
I
over
am.
here.
side bobbing her head. Yeah,
You a Gemini, so most likely you are.
I don't think that I'm very opinionated. I think that the things that I do have opinions on, though,
Are very
I'm
strong.
very strong about them.
As you
I'm
should.
very
For the most
opinionated.
part, I don't care. But the things that I do
Yeah.
care about, I really care about.
I'm a little both. I'm very opinionated, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that I necessarily
That I give a damn.
care about everything. But
Yeah.
I think about everything.
Yeah, I'll
type
talk to you about it. We can
type
have
shit,
a
you know what I'm saying?
conversation about it.
In certain stuff, like I wouldn't do no shit like that. Like, well, this bitch wild, but I still fuck with her. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You good though?
it ain't like I can't be your friend. It's just like, this bitch
Right.
really been selling pussy at downtown like it's nothing. Oh, okay, well, I'll call her for a drink later. I guess.
I call you for a drink later.
You know what I mean? But,
I call you for a drink later.
How have
But,
you finding yourself like in Vegas so far?
You know what? I like
Cost of
Vegas.
living is international because that
The
shit
cost of living
skyrocketed now too.
is trying to meet up with California, which I think is absolutely nuts considering, the beaches.
We got the same gas prices as these motherfuckers almost.
Yeah, if you're
not yet. They're like $7.
I would say it used to be like a fucking at least an 80 to like a $1.20 difference.
If you're gonna charge me that much to live out here, I at least need to be able to turn the heat down, right? Like I can't, I can't go to. You can't escape the heat.
Yeah,
out here.
at least
in California,
California
I can
got
get
some
to the beach.
got some cool spots.
You know what I'm
Ain't
saying?
nobody moved
There's-
Reno.
Bunch of water parks.
Yeah, there's nothing happening.
Ain't nobody moved to fucking Reno.
I don't even want to go to Reno. I don't really see the point.
I really try not to come out the house until the sun's like on the other side.
Shit,
of
even
the
at this
strip.
point, it's just
Still be 100 degrees. The sun is down.
But at least,
Sun is down, still be cooking.
100 degrees is tolerable when the sun isn't in the sky.
Facts.
Like, I can
I will
tolerate
agree.
it.
I will say
I'm fine as long as the sun's not right on me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm light skinned,
cool
nigga.
with
Fuck
all
that. Anything over 98, I'm staying in the crib. I'm cool.
You're not light skinned, you're white.
I'm light skinned.
I'm punjabi.
Hey, look, you had one job, okay?
Yeah, nigga, you slumdog millionaire. I said,
Look, give me the million. I'll be cool. You feel me? I ain't even worry.
slummed
You
down.
call me whatever you want. Let me get the million.
Said
Feel
he
me?
just in the slum dog.
Yeah, I'm just in a
right
slum
now.
dog. Give me the million. I'll take it. You feel me?
I heard
Look,
that shit, brother. I heard that shit.
I'll be a slum dog millionaire. Give me the million. Fucking right.
I heard that shit.
So Tiff, you hear about us, of course. We are like family, so you've been trying to, you've been hitting me up to come on for the longest, and
Man, you've been doing
been
all
dragging
these
my fucking feet and
revisions
shit.
in here. It's looking good.
all
It's
these
looking
revisions
real
dragging
good
my
in
feet,
here.
and so we wanted to have you on, just see how you sound. How are you liking the podcast process?
I think you guys are hilarious. I'm glad you even allowed me to come and share space with you today and to get to know you.
I like that one, share
so
space.
It's great. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys just having me. I think it's great.
Do you feel nervous?
I am a little nervous,
All right, so look,
but I don't care about it. Like I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna tell you something. You're probably nervous this is the first time. This is one of the easiest things, and
This
the reason
is
why I say
actually
that.
not my first time.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck you never right?
Excuse you.
Hey, she bougie bitch. Hold on.
I just get nervous just in general because like I'm confident, but there's still a nervousness to the fact that this is something new.
Bro, we ain't shit.
I'm gonna keep real.
Yeah, you already agree with that.
For me, it wasn't even about being confident. I'm being real. This is how you look at it.
Wow.
It's you talking amongst friends. It
Okay.
ain't got nothing to do with you being on a live radio
Yeah.
or you being somewhere where people are watching you on TV.
It don't matter. I'm looking at myself
you talking
right there
amongst
on that
friends.
screen though, so
So,
that's a little that makes
Yeah,
me a
look,
little
you don't
nervous.
even got to worry about none of that bullshit. Just say, hey, I'm talking to niggas who was family and friends, and nigga, we talking how we would talk if I was in this nigga's living room.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Same
how
convo, just
It
on
just
with
happens
some
to be-
microphones.
Somebody pass
It just happens to be
some
recorded
Yep.
at the end of the day.
Somebody pass
And
the
also
drink.
streaming on YouTube and also Twitch and also on air. And then will then be put up on podcast platforms for everybody to enjoy.
Awesome.
And then you will be immortalized that way.
He went to go get the alcohol.
Oh shit.
He definitely get the alcohol.
It's all Gucci. It's all Gucci. So what else would you like to talk about, Tiff?
Oh snap! Where the cup at?
Where your cup at?
Yeah.
Right here. You know what's a fun topic? Has been a fun topic lately. Gender roles.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
this nigga here
been
you go.
We can go into that if you want.
a fun topic, and like traditional relationships versus modern relationships.
Okay.
That's been- oh, that's good. Cause I don't want no ice.
Where did my cup go?
I got this drink in my cup.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bro, my shit was
Cheers, everybody.
Oh, wait.
nigga.
You didn't. You had a glass.
I had a glass.
Because you gave me hers.
Nigga, this shit is mine.
So what do you think, you guys? You guys.
He had it under his shit the whole
He
time.
gave me his cup.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
shit.
you guys
oh,
50-50
yeah.
type of guys, or
As far as what goes, like paying bills and shit?
Relationship wise, when do you think you should start spending money?
I'm probably like, well, it depends on what point in the relationship. If we're going to be like living together, I'm probably 65, 35.
Okay.
I'm going to keep real.
Yeah.
You to 65.
Me being 65.
Okay.
Yeah. That's just that's just also
But you're
like
not to that
personal
point until
and
you guys get
internal
together?
pride. That's just what makes me
I'm going to
feel
tell you why, though.
better as a man. It was raining.
Well, I don't know if
it was pouring.
I don't know if 65, 35 is even all the way accurate. I'm going to be real with you. Okay, if we're just dating and we're not on no live together, don't got no kids together, none of that shit. I don't know if it's, my 50-50 doesn't have nothing to do with the financial part if I'm talking about dating.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm be real with you. I don't fuck with women that don't take me on dates and shit. I ain't trying to be cocky, but any chick I fuck with that really liked me did shit like that.
Yeah, okay.
So, now I'm going to do the shit for you, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, I don't fuck with women who don't spend money on men. So, like, if you one of the women who think, like, oh, you pay for all the dates and you do this and that, then we probably not gonna rock. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I've had it from bad bitches, not no little bitch you missing a tooth and shit. Like I got some cool looking bitches, like you know what I'm saying. So, no man, bitches got their life together and shit. They got good jobs, like you know what I'm saying, man. They like to treat a nigga.
The bitch missing the tooth didn't take you on a date. You was mad.
Well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably bad. Like, the face, you really like this. I don't know you're willing to say. I'm now asked for time. I got 2 kids. Right. And so, like, my opinion is I'll take kids. They go fish, all that, I'll tell them whatever. Cool. But the sound, like, you know what I'm saying, to bills, I ain't saying pay them all, but, you know, I expect you to contribute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, man? We could split something, and then I'll pay all of this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it don't have to be exactly 50-50, but I need to know that you are able to contribute. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's how I am. I've never... I mean, not like if I was rich or something, then I probably wouldn't make my girl pay bills, but I'm just going to be real, my nigga. Like, we're in a day and age where the average person can't even afford to live alone these fucking days. Mm-hmm. So you ain't finna have me paying all of everything with the kids. No, that's not going to work, bitch. I'm sorry. It ain't. Like, you know, I don't make that much fucking money. What you want me to do? Like, you know. So, yeah, but outside of that, it don't even... My 50-50 goes more so like... You know, so I feel like as a woman... When you're with that man, I don't mean just a man who's trying to court you. When you're with that man, you should be planning date nights as well and wanting to do shit with him.
Yeah. You should want to.
I'm not saying you got to spend crazy money, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be making plans. Sometimes I come home and I'm tired. And, hey, baby, let's just take a weekend getaway. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just, you know what I'm saying, 2 nights at... You know what I'm saying? Nigga, Mesquite. You don't gotta be nothing crazy. Yeah. But, you know. I ain't trying to be funny when I say that. I'm just saying, though. Like, it don't have to be nothing, nothing fancy.
A joke popped in my head when you said Mesquite.
Yeah, like, you know, it don't have to be nothing fancy. But I'm just saying, like, it feels good as a man to know that you have a woman that's willing to do the same shit that you're willing to do. Yeah. She don't have to do it as much as me. Just that I know she's willing to do it. That makes me feel good as a man. Like, damn, like, this chick don't ask for shit. Like, you know what I mean? She a cool one. I'm the type of nigga, if you don't ask for nothing, I'll do whatever for you. I don't like bitches who ask me for shit and I feel like they're not even deserving. Like,
how long can she not ask you for something before you?
just
open the door to the kingdom.
It ain't really
I wouldn't say how long. It's more so like what is
like,
the nature of this
for like
question?
a year.
No, can you go pick up my kids? I was like, I ain't even take on the first date yet. God damn.
I don't mean like that because you should tell me what gifts you like, shit you want on certain occasions, but I just mean like some women you could tell they just love you. They like being in your presence. Mm-hmm. It's not about what you can do for them. Right. If I run across a woman and I feel like she's more into what I can do for her, I don't want the bra. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I like women that like me. All the other shit is just a plus. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be anyway. Right. Other shit's supposed to be a plus. So I don't know if it's like, you know, oh, she only asked for this or she only asked so much. I don't mean it like that. It just more so like she ain't no begging ass bitch. She ain't the type of chick who be over here like, oh, babe, I want a Louis purse this one, I want this. Like, nigga, like, she a cool motherfucker. She shows appreciation. She can get what she want from me. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
Okay.
So for me, it's like a whole different ball game. Keep it a bug.
Okay. Of course.
It ain't that bad, okay? But so my
She got
ex-
smoke hookah. She get no hookah.
Hey, at one point in time, like
But
yeah,
only
no.
on Tuesdays.
Hookah was a
Hookah was a
make or break.
major part of my like diet.
was a make or
Once
break for
upon a
this nigga at
time.
one point.
Yeah, nigga, I used to smoke hookah like on a daily basis. And before you've known like got his shit together, Michael. You didn't know like was wilding out, Michael. That's
Future
a whole
Michael.
different nigga. Like
Why is
Future-
hookah a part of
Future
wilding
Michael,
out?
because Future Michael didn't care. Henny and hookah went together. A and B
I mean,
was
I
all
used
good
to
to
do
go.
Henny Thursdays at the hookah lounge, but
Nah, that shit was different.
Okay.
But so for me, I had to come to terms with there are women that are in different tax brackets than I am.
true.
And at that point in time, there was a woman that I was dating. Kyle met her. This is when the podcast first started. This person was
Yeah.
a totally different tax bracket than I was. And so the one thing I've learned is that not every relationship can be 50-50. Sometimes like
No, it can't be so.
I'm gonna have to take the back seat. This person was the breadwinner in our relationship. And I did everything I could to make sure that she knew that I cared about her. So financially, when it came to those type of things, like I planned a date night and I could do everything that I could as far as like financially goes. But at the end of the day, like I was like, okay, look, like we had to sit down. I think that the biggest thing for us was communication. It's kind of like, okay, look, this is what I make annually. You make significantly more than I do, but I'm gonna do what I can to make sure you feel that you're appreciated and you know that I appreciate you and that you're cared
That's
for.
what a
and
real
I love
nigga
you.
do.
Yeah. So I was just like, hey, like, so I plan my date nights. I would, do these certain things. Courtship is important to me, so I would do everything I could in my, means to make sure that she knew. But I was kind of like, okay, cool. Like when we sat down, I was like, what do you do? She's like, well, I'm a lawyer, and I was like, oh, all right, well. Okay, cool. Well, fuck me. Like you make significantly more money than I do. And I was like, it is what it is.
I'm gonna keep real with you, nigga. Them type of women love broke niggas though.
So for
Women got hero syndrome. Like,
look for,
motherfucker.
but look for
They love a nigga they can say.
for a
It
lawyer.
depends on when you catch them in their life.
True,
Honestly,
true,
it depends on
true.
what point.
I was gonna
in their
say
life you
for a
catch
lawyer,
them
this
in.
bitch couldn't communicate. Like this shit was terrible. And
That's
I was
most
like,
women's
all right, I'm
problem,
cool.
though.
Like I was
Most
like, hey.
Well, if you with a woman that's a lawyer, she probably likes to argue.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that she liked to argue. It was that she didn't tell me
thought
what
she
she
was.
was feeling. No, she didn't tell me what she was feeling in the moment, and she would hold it in and then blow up. Like, I mean, erupt with all the shit she had been holding in. I was like,
familiar.
all right, I'm cool. I'm not
What kinds
finna
of
deal with this
things-
shit.
I mean, okay, so
Sounds familiar.
here's how she was the breadwinner. What kinds of things did you guys fight about? Not to just like.
We didn't necessarily fight over anything.
I'm saying,
it was
that's what I'm
just.
saying. So when she blew up, what kinds of things?
Oh,
did she
it was
blow up
like
about?
so we had a mutual friend. Before we met, we had a mutual friend. This friend is a prize title boxer.
Okay.
We've had him on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the names because I'm not trying to get in trouble.
I could just
But
go back and see
prize
who you had on.
prize
I'm
title
just kidding.
Awesome.
boxer, we was real cool. So he would just
Oh,
buy me
no, you
drinks.
can't, because I never dropped the episode.
Yeah, you didn't. Huh? He'd buy me drinks,
vault.
and I'd be like, okay, cool. So she was like, why do you let him buy you drinks? I was like, I didn't know this was offending you. Had I have known that, I'd buy my own drinks. It's nothing crazy, nothing I could fix. Why don't you do X, Y, and Z? Okay, cool. Let me know. It wasn't things that was out of ordinary that was like, we finna fight. It was small, subtle things I could have easily addressed in the moment. Hey,
you stopped
I don't
though.
like when you do this. Okay, cool. I can stop doing that. Okay, I like you doing this. Okay, cool. Stop doing that. And she held all this stuff in. So when I would ask her, like I could physically see something's wrong. I'd be like, hey, is everything okay? Something cool? She's like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm taking you at face value. Nothing wrong. Okay, cool.
Don't you know all it's fine is the woman's.
And then
terminology?
but okay, cool. But I think that at this point in time, you're a grown woman. You should be able to say what's on your mind. Okay, hey, look, I don't like this.
Maybe
I don't
she
like
wasn't
that.
taught that inherently.
Okay, all right, see, all right then.
Look at you circling back.
But I realized, Mike, I'm being completely honest with you. You're not wrong. I ain't trying to say you're wrong, right? Something I realized from dating women is a lot of these women got PTSD from past relationships.
Oh,
They do.
Jesus, Here we go.
And no, I ain't.
They do. Yeah, no, they do.
But
They
I'm not
do.
trying to talk
There we
serious. I had
go.
one even apologize to me for it. And like, I had a girl I dated where every time she voiced concerns or tried to, you know what I'm saying, man, try to question something that she didn't like, it would turn to something physical.
Oh.
I ain't
You know what I'm saying, man? It turned into like a real big thing. So, nigga, when I got her and we were dating, she wouldn't want to speak up at times, and I'd be like, nigga, like, I'm not gonna do nothing to you.
Oh, you were
like,
saying
you know
like
what
the
I'm saying?
previous guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I thought you were saying she hit you.
No.
Okay.
No, we didn't have
So
an issue at all.
she had no.
But she told me about certain times where
she
it
wouldn't
was an issue.
confront things
So
because of that.
it led to her being like that with me. Like, I'm not gonna entertain certain conversations because for my history, anytime I did, this ended up
This is what
this
happened.
way. Nope, I'm not even gonna go there, my nigga. So I would get mad, like, nigga, talk to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell me what's wrong. And I don't want to. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do nothing to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even if I don't like what you have to say, yeah, I'm just not gonna like what you have to say. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Like, you know what I'm saying? But some people, especially women, especially because, you know what I mean, men are the more powerful species, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Push it, baby.
They have. I'm only talking about as far as
Oh, okay.
that shit.
Let me
Push
kick
a
you in
B.
your private parts.
I'm push a
But-
B.
Calm down,
Push a
ma'am.
B.
I'm like, let me
No,
kick
no,
you in
but
your
I'm not trying to
private
put
parts.
women
Let's see
down
who
with-
can take that.
I ain't trying to put women down when I say this. I'm just saying for a lot of them, they've been on the receiving end of a lot of bullshit.
Yes.
When it comes to them trying to get their thoughts out and get their feelings out. So sometimes when we get them, they're not all the way right. And it takes a while for them to really get into that mode. Now, some of them just suck at it. Sometimes it ain't about, you know what I mean, them getting beat on or anything like that. Some of them just suck at it. Me, my strong point is communication. I'm trash at certain shit, but that's my strong point. Is nigga, like if it's a change of schedule, if I gotta do it, I'm going to hey, this date, I plan this trip, make sure the kids are taken care of for these days. Like, you know,
Thank
I'll
God
let
for
you know
Mercury.
ahead of time
Yeah.
what I'm fucking doing. I get mad because she'll be the opposite. Like, nigga, you tell me today, and the shit is today. Like, nigga, what the fuck is you on? Like, you know what I mean? I don't operate like that, so I get mad. Like, you had 2 months to tell me this. Why the fuck would you wait till now?
So for me, it wasn't in this particular instance.
Right.
It was like, help me.
Yeah.
Help me.
Help me help you.
Help me help you. I can't teach you how to communicate, but I'm trying to help. I want to know what's wrong. It wasn't
Right.
like, hey, you know,
Some people just different, bro.
bro, look, I'm sitting there. We were sitting there. I'm like, what do I need? Is it me?
Sometimes there's nothing you could do.
Ain't nothing I could do. That's one thing. That's what I had to learn the hard way. I learned it the hard way. So I'm like, hey, you know, is it me? What do I need to fix? Help me. Like I'm trying to bridge this communication gap. Like what is going on? And she was just like, you know, it's me. Like I can't physically tell you these things. And I was like, okay, I respect that, but also we can't be no more. Like this don't work
Some
because
Which is
people
also
fear how
mature
you're
as
gonna
decision, too.
look at them and treat them after they tell you certain things too.
But
Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it ain't really just about.
but I think that the biggest thing is
Like, did you just kill a fly?
Oh,
with
she
mixtape?
pulled up all the mixtapes.
Did you use a
All the
not for the love of
mixtapes.
dollars. I hope it wasn't
All the
for love of
mixtape
dollars.
CDs, my
I
guy.
don't know.
I
All the
hope it wasn't
mixtape
for the love of
CDs.
dollars. Please don't be for the love of dollars. I
was
love that
just
mixtape.
2 little things.
Oh, it was for the love of dollars.
What you? I didn't use the actual.
It's the other
CD.
one, bro.
I didn't use the
That
actual.
shit funny to
CD.
me, so don't.
She broke all the
I don't
mixtape
mind,
CDs
For
we
the
got
love
from
of
the
dollars.
vault. One of
heard
these,
that shit
one
in
of
the car
one
one
of these
time.
days on the radio, we're just gonna air out these mixtapes that we got. Like, so my mom used to be not an A&R, but she used to do a lot of artist representation back in like the late 2000s.
Who,
Like,
like Dolly Parton?
nah, for like
For real?
but niggas like them.
Your mom the black one, that's right.
Yeah,
I apologize. I got your
Why?
mama fucked
She the
up.
black
them over
one,
there.
girl.
I got your mama fucked up. I'm
Don't
sorry,
do
one
him
nigga.
like that.
I'm sorry, one nigga.
Hey,
I don't
Lavana.
Lavana, she a nigga.
Juanita.
Your mama had a swap meet booth.
Right.
Lavana.
Had a swap meet boo.
Your mama named Lavana.
Just stacks of fucking
nigga.
mixtape
Oh, yeah,
CDs, bro.
Yo,
Your mama sold out Green Records.
Bro.
bro.
Stacks of mixtape CDs. But yes.
That's how you became a DJ. Your mama sold out Green Records back
On God.
Okay,
on
but so
God.
anyways, like I was saying before, but you can't. One thing I've learned is that you can't teach somebody how to communicate. That has to be something that they've learned or something that they developed before they meet you. But you physically can't teach somebody how to communicate
You
with
can
you.
encourage it. That's it.
But but you can't
Sorry,
physically
you do.
teach somebody how to do that. So I think
and I feel like in that same respect is you gotta be patient enough to a point where they get out of that shell also, because some people just growing up just don't like to express certain feelings. Yes,
Yeah, but
Rod,
at
you have
the
a question,
same
sir?
time- Yes, I do, teacher.
Raising his hand
Church
over.
finger.
See, but at the same time, and I'm
Pastor,
not,
I gotta.
see, but at the same time, and I'm not.
to the bathroom.
I ain't just saying this as a man. I mean for both sexes. At the same time, how long are you supposed to be patient with
And
a motherfucker who
and
you're
that
in a
is also
relationship with?
also a
That's
golden
subjective.
question.
It's different when you're just talking to a
That's
person and
subjective.
y'all haven't reached a certain point. When a person is actually supposed to be your person and y'all are in a full-blown relationship, how long should you go without a motherfucker's their communication lacking? Because, nigga, that's the main downfall in a relationship.
Exactly.
I feel like one person's strength in a relationship is going to be another person's weakness. For instance, if I am a strong communicator, my partner doesn't necessarily have to be a strong communicator, but they need to be able to communicate.
But if they're
for instance, like if there's a situation that happens and I know that my partner's not the type of person that's going to say something because, I don't like confrontation or I don't like this or whatever. But for me, I know that this is something that I can take charge on. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to say, hey, what's the deal? Can we talk about it? And if you're a communicator, then you'll talk about it with me. You may not initiate the conversation. Right. Me being a strong communicator, I'm the one that's probably going to initiate the conversation. But as long as you're open to the communication, then we can have the conversation.
So
I think it's subjective.
So
I think it's subjective. I think that everybody's going to have a different time frame based on what they've been through and what they're willing to put up with.
Some people are
in the
so
relationship
bad.
they're in right now.
I'll be real, we're not going to make
And some people shouldn't be in relationships
me
until they
neither.
go to
We ain't
therapy.
gonna make I didn't see that
happen.
before we even get to the boyfriend girlfriend stage. I'm gonna keep all the way real with you. Like, and I'm gonna tell you right now, even if that's your strong point, that cannot be their weak point. That's supposed to be their average point. It can't be that you're terrible at it and I'm great at it. We're not gonna fucking work. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say that because I've experienced it. If I'm having to, like, say for instance, right? To me, right? So I got kids, right? So if I'm telling you, hey, she's got to be here, this date, this time, I work, make sure it gets done. And you don't take care of that. You don't communicate to me that something came up or you can't do that or what you have to do. Now I'm really pissed off because, nigga, it ain't about me and you, nigga. You fucking up my child's needs. Mm-hmm. Now I really can't fuck with you because your lack of communication is getting in the way of how I'm raising my child. Certain things that need to be said to a kid, certain things that need to be relayed to a child or different things you're not even doing. That's a big fucking deal, bro. A big deal. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some things are small, some. Mm-hmm. But some lines of communication are very big.
Communication
and
is a huge thing.
When it comes to us paying bills, you need to tell me that your check was short or late or you don't have this, you don't have that. I've been on payday where they were like, okay, dude, man, where your shit? Oh, well, I only got this amount. I didn't. You weren't going to tell me that? Like, nigga, you got paid last week. You weren't going to tell me you didn't have the money before now? You waited till this day to say that? No, nigga, this ain't going to work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? This shit ain't going to work. Like, you know, certain things you can kind of, okay, not that big of a deal. You ain't tell me that. But, nigga, the older you get and the more responsibility, that's why I say that when you live with somebody, you have a family, responsibilities at an all-time high. Mm-hmm. Your communication can't lack that much. It needs to be at least decent.
I've dealt with something similar, but it wasn't that that he didn't have great communication skills. Right. It was that he was afraid of confrontation, right? So it was the confrontation part. He could talk to me about everything
your way
else.
Of confrontation, because there's confrontation and there's people who don't want to deal with shit.
So let's say, for instance, let's use the example that Rod just used, like something came up. And, you know, you were supposed to do something at a certain time, but something came up and you didn't tell me. Mm. Well, you know how I'm going to feel about it because I can't come and take care of it. Mm. And so you anticipate what my response is going to be. And as a result, it prevents you from communicating with me. Even though you really want to communicate, you really want to tell me, but you already think you know how I'm going to react. And so you don't say anything. And I don't think that it has anything to do with the fact that you don't, that there's a lack of communication. It's that on the receiving end, maybe I haven't made you feel comfortable enough to come and tell me something, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I haven't provided a safe space for you to feel like you can come to me when you need to communicate something that's not ideal.
See, but I got
and then I'm gonna make you feel like less of a man or whatever. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna keep it real though. I have to play devil's advocate in that form because if that is the case, if you have made me feel comfortable, what the fuck am I doing with you?
I mean, you know, some people have dependency
You know what I'm
issues.
saying? Like,
Some
I
people
told my
have
girl-
abandonment
I told my girl one
issues,
day,
you know?
I told my girl I told her straight one day, I said, do I beat on you? No. Do I call you out your name? Do I scream at the top of my
See,
lungs
I'm gonna
at
tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something.
No.
I'm a life coach, right?
So why you
master.
talk? Like, you know what I'm saying? Talk.
I'm a master certified life coach, right? So
Right.
I understand things from different perspectives.
Right.
So where you can give me one scenario, I can say, well, this person probably has something going on in their childhood, or
might,
probably
yeah.
has something that it may not be something that you will ever
That's
know
what we
or
talked about
everything. I
earlier,
feel like
remember?
people can overcome. People can overcome anything. You just have to get to what you're dealing with when you deal with people. That's the fruit of
Right.
their tree. You're getting the fruit of the tree. You know what I'm saying?
Peel
That's
back
not
layers. You gotta
and what
peel
you're doing,
layers.
yeah, and what you're doing is you're like, oh, this fruit is rotten. Oh, this is rotten. Oh, you put it, this is picky, man. You just picking the fruit, and you throwing the fruit away, but you never get into it, the root cause of the problem. Instead, you saying this tree ain't no good. Well, really, it's something at the root of that tree that's producing rotten fruit. Can we get to the root of that problem? If you are patient enough with a person that is really your person, then you'll be patient enough with them, no matter what it takes, to get to the root of that tree and pluck it out so that it's no longer producing rotten.
Let's go back to what we said before. I'm gonna keep real with you though, sweetie. I understand what you're saying, and you're not wrong. But to go back to what we said before, how patient are you supposed to be?
Yeah.
How long are you supposed to wait? Because if I spend 4 to 5 years trying to help you get through this shit, and now I'm in my late 30s, early 40s, and we don't have a stable relationship that I would like.
Mm-hmm.
Something's got to be called at some point.
Yeah.
And then-
We're not gonna make it that far. I'm
Yeah.
keep it a bug. Yeah,
That's
no,
how
I
I
ain't.
feel too.
We gonna figure this out before we even figure out if you my person or not. I'm
This
keeping
is
it a
my
bug.
problem when
Like,
it comes. I'm here, man. This is my problem when it comes to people, right? I have gotten older, and you know me, man. I'm a smart nigga. Like I pay attention to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm very observant. I watch everything when it comes to people that I fuck with. So I pick up on a lot of shit when it comes to my friends, when it comes to my parents, when it comes to my sister. I pick up on a lot of shit. I understand if certain things from your past made you a certain way, but this is the thing that you don't understand. As an adult, you know right from fucking wrong, nigga. So I understand that your parent may have treated you a certain way, or you may have went without at a certain point, and it made you the way you are. But fast forward time, you're a 50-year-old fucking man. It is time for you to own up to who the fuck you are.
is time.
At least.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Even if you at least try to own up
To
and
try.
change who you. If you're not even trying, fuck what the fuck you talk. I don't care what the reason is. I don't give a shit that nigga you was raped at 12 years old. That sucks. It does. But tell me what that's doing for me. Nothing. We're still getting nowhere. I'm gonna have to let that go, my nigga. I'm sorry, nigga. Like I wish you well.
And while that,
But
and you know what? Some people really don't realize that when it comes to things like that, something.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna speak on this. 'cause
Trauma,
it's
yeah.
the thing that you use. Trauma literally. Was
I didn't really mean to use
No,
that.
no. I'm just saying, but
I
trauma
understand.
literally stunts your growth.
Yes,
So
it
somebody
does.
that was
Yeah.
harmed to that
Extent.
capacity, to that extent, at 12 years old,
Yeah.
is still 12 years old. I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck if they're 50. They mentally have stopped aging. They are stuck at 12 years old.
Yeah.
And so you can look at them and you can say, oh, you're 50, fix it, but they have not grown
Right.
past that incident. They've just been living life as a 12-year-old,
You're right.
living that same day over and over and over and over and over again. And so
And that's
while
are
and
you
so
supposed
and
to
so
stay
there's
there with them?
but that's your choice, right? That's
Yeah.
that's your
Facts,
choice.
facts.
And so there's people like me that have been given gifts to have grace and mercy for people like that and to help them overcome and get through stuff like that. And that's not a calling that everybody has.
No.
And it's not patience that everyone has. And if you don't have the patience
Right.
for it, then I suggest get the fuck out of there.
Get up out of there,
because
yeah.
otherwise you're gonna do more damage. And then
not looking down
and then
on-
somebody like a therapist or a life coach will have more work to do as a result of you not having the patience to withstand
Facts.
something that you knew was a red flag for you anyway.
I'll keep real. I didn't even like using that as an example.
Yeah.
So I said-
No, but I mean, but anything
The only
like
point I was
that.
just
Yeah.
trying to make, sweetie, was just that I understand that a lot of people past makes them who they are, just period.
Yes, absolutely.
It don't have to be something that traumatic,
Yeah.
but everybody's past makes
And
them
if
who
you
they
don't
are.
go back and do your own foundational work,
Yeah.
then you're going to continue to carry that and you're going to keep building on top of that because
And
that's Your childhood is your foundation. People say all the time, "Oh, what happened to your child?" That is your foundation. That set the stage for your life. Look, so if you think that your childhood is not playing a role in what you are doing today, the words you say, the way you walk, the way you talk, everything, that is everything with who you are, because all of your experiences came from there.
I've already told y'all, the reason why that I don't care what anybody thinks of me, the reason why I'm so outspoken, it's because of how I was raised.
Your childhood.
You know, I'm already aware of it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, whether right or wrong.
But at some point, you do have to take the reins and realize something is not right. You should at some point take the reins and realize something's not right. I gotta do something for myself. What I'm saying. I understand what made, like, I've gained a little bit of compassion for my father on certain things. Oh, in that generation.
Knowing certain things that was done to him that he went through, I gained a little compassion, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, I've forgiven and I gave you ample opportunity to address certain things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they need to be addressed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna judge you and say you're a terrible person. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I need you to acknowledge what you did. Yeah. And what, you know what I'm saying?
But see, they read from a different book than we did, right? Facts. They were taught from a completely different book than we were, and so what we see as a problem, what we see as issues, they don't. The things that we say, like they're like only speak when spoken to. Children should be seen and not heard, right? They have this set of rules for children with how they operate when it comes to adults, and so anything that they did as adults to their child, they are not wrong for. That's how that generation feels.
I appreciate Tiff for pulling up. True Talk with Tiff. I like that.
True Talk with Tiff.
True Talk with Tiff.
Late nights.
And of course, Exquisite Complex. Shallow Waters Podcast. We dove deep in 3 feet.
Wasn't even my podcast, bro.
Listen, this is.
It wasn't even my podcast.
This is a new, like, an introductory segment we're gonna do from now on. All things blah.
Yeah.
Oh, bet.
Let me know.
Sunday, right?
Wait, I get that invitation too?
Yeah, you come through.
What time? Let me know. Time.
It really don't matter what time.
It gotta be after 5.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
please. After the sun is on the other side, please.
Hey, look here, man. I'm gonna just say something real quick. I appreciate my brothers having me.
Hey, man.
I appreciate the women that fell through and allowed us to have good conversation. Nigga, July 9th, I'm going for it all, nigga. That shit gonna be hilarious. I swear to God, look, nigga, I don't have.
As long as you don't call me Punjabi, it's all good. You gonna see me in the crowd? Look at Punjabi right there, nigga.
We getting that right money.
I ain't gonna say.
I just want you to know that's gonna be your name on True Talk with Tiff. Okay, Punjabi.
Trying to grow to know that y'all come to that show July 9th.
It's not flying.
It's gonna be very ignorant.
That shit's gonna be so funny. We appreciate y'all. Y'all see tapped in. We got other shows coming up this week in the Artist Music Showcase. Tomorrow, my man Dougie the Don for a repeat interview. He got some fire ass music out. He got a couple records out with some with Yauda, and then some other artists on the West Coast. But we'll tap up with y'all later. We out.
Peace.
Peace.